Africa's Geography, Chapter 12, Section 1. Africa's diverse geography. What were some of the environments that the people of Africa had to adapt to? Africa is home to many different vegetation zones. A couple that we will study are the desert and savannas. The world's largest desert is the Sahara, which is located in northern Africa. It covers about 8.5 million square kilometers, or about 3.3 million square miles. Because the temperatures vary from 100 degrees Fahrenheit to 120 degrees Fahrenheit, it makes it hard to live there. Although some of the Sahara's animal and plant communities have adapted to those regions, you're not going to find a lot of living creatures there. There is such thing as oasis, which is a hub of water in the desert, and those come from spring wells, which is like way underneath the ground. And about 75% of the Sahara's population does live in these oases. The next one that we're going to talk about is savannas, and that's much like what you see in the picture here. Savannas are grassland, and they cover almost half of Africa. And this is where you get what you think is the typical picture of Africa, where you're going to see hyenas and zebras and lions and giraffes and elephants. Next, we're going to talk about different sections of Africa. So right now, we're going to talk about West Africa, and this area that you see right here, this is West Africa. Now, there are 3 different vegetation zones in West Africa alone. You have the Sahara, because obviously the Sahara is going to be in this area. So some of West Africa does fall in there. You're going to have the savannas, which is going to be in the central region of West Africa, and then you also have rainforest, which is going to be the southern section of West Africa. All right, next we have East Africa, and East Africa is obviously right here. It's the area in green. And here you have some of the most extreme landforms found here. You have the Nile, which is the world's longest river. You have Mount Kilimanjaro, which is the highest peak in Africa. And then you also have the Horn of Africa located right here. All right, and now we're going to talk about Central and Southern Africa. So Central Africa is right here, and then Southern Africa is right here. You also have a variety of geographic regions in here. You have rainforests in Central Africa and grasslands in Southern Africa, which is also where you're going to find zebras, lions, giraffes, etc. You also have a very diverse human geography, which means that there are a lot of different ethnic groups that live in this area. All right, the last thing that we're going to talk about, and we talked about a little bit in class, is desertification. I need you to read over the diagram on page 338. This is going to describe the process of desertification. And then there is a video embedded in the tutorial that you also will need to watch and take notes on. I will have a Kahoot ready for you to review, and I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to take your notes in the Cornell format. We'll start taking points off of your homework if they are not done in the Cornell format. You are not required to do a summary. Just make sure that you have your notes and that you have vocab in the side and it is properly headed. And also do not forget to include your essential question. Have a great night. Bye, class.